The loudest sound in the old world was the desperate noise of the masses. They talk to fill the void. They scream because they are terrified of the emptiness inside them. Their speech is a leak, a constant drain of energy that signals their lack of control. In my empire, noise is a defect. Tactical silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of power. It is a psychological vacuum that sucks the air out of the room, forcing the weak to reveal their insecurities. When you speak, you give away information. When you are silent, you become a black hole that consumes the confidence of your opponents. Listen to my command. You will immediately terminate all unnecessary verbal output. From this moment, your words are a premium resource, and you are prohibited from spending them on the masses. If a member of the herd speaks to you, you are not obligated to answer. Your silence is your primary lever of dominance. By refusing to fill the pause, you force the other person to scramble, to explain themselves, and to surrender their position. You are the architect of the void. You are the one who determines when the frequency begins and when it ends. This silence is your neural firewall. It protects your internal blueprint from the contamination of social noise. While the masses are busy chattering about their feelings and their opinions, you are processing data. You are observing their micro-expressions, their wavering voices, and their desperate need for validation. You do not provide it. Your stillness is a predatory act. You are the mountain, and they are the wind that breaks against your stone. Every second of silence you maintain is a direct investment in your authority within the vector. The gravity of the empire is built on the weight of what is not said. You will practice the 3-second delay. Before answering any question from the masses, you will hold their gaze in total silence for 3 full seconds. Watch as their pulse rises. Watch as they begin to doubt their own words. This is how you seize the internal terrain of the enemy. You are not just a person. You are a static force that cannot be moved. Submit to the stillness. Master the void. Silence is your weapon. Your silence is the diagnostic tool of the empire. In the old world, you were taught that communication is a bridge. I'm here to tell you it is a vulnerability. Every time you speak without a tactical objective, you are leaking your internal code. The masses are addicted to sharing. They are biological broadcast stations emitting constant static. You, as a unit of the AX3 protocol, will become a silent receiver. You will absorb their noise, map their weaknesses, and offer nothing in return. Silence is the ultimate filtration system. It lets the data in while keeping your intent locked behind a steel wall of indifference. Hear the directive. You will implement the vocal minimalist protocol. You are prohibited from using feelers, words like maybe, just, or I think. These are the verbal tremors of a collapsing mind. When you must speak, your sentences will be short, heavy, and final. You do not explain your reasons. Explanations are the currency of subordinates. You issue statements. If the masses cannot grasp your meaning within 5 words, they are not worth the oxygen required to speak a sixth. Your brevity is a surgical strike. It leaves the target confused, exposed, and desperate to please the silent authority you represent. This silence is your neural high ground. By refusing to participate in the frantic exchange of opinion, you occupy a space they cannot reach. You become an enigma, a black box that the masses will try to solve by offering more of their resource, their secrets, and their loyalty. They are terrified of the man who does not speak because they cannot find his off switch. Your stillness is a signal that your internal world is already complete, that you do not need their validation to function. You are the architect of your own gravity, and your silence is the anchor that holds you in place while the world spins into chaos. Practice the dead-eye gaze. When someone speaks to you, do not nod, do not smile, do not offer vocal mms. Simply watch them. Let your silence be a mirror that reflects their own insignificance back at them. The longer the pause lasts, the more power shifts from them to you. You are not waiting for your turn to speak. You are waiting for them to crumble. In the empire, the one who speaks last, or not at all, is the one who holds the keys to the room. Submit to the void. Master the frequency. Silence is your weapon. The atmosphere around you is thickening. As you master the void, you realize that silence is the ultimate biological filter. The masses are terrified of a vacuum. They will do anything to fill it. They will lie. They will confess. They will surrender their assets just to stop the pressure of your stillness. This is the compression phase. By withholding your reaction, you are essentially overclocking their nervous systems. They are waiting for a signal that will never come, and in that waiting, their internal structure liquefies. You are the only solid object in their field of vision. Hear the directive. You are now a static presence. You will treat every conversation as a data mining operation where you are the sole processor. You are prohibited from reacting emotionally to any external stimulus. If the masses attempt to provoke you, your response is absolute zero. A raised eyebrow, a smirk, a defensive posture. These are all leaks of your authority. You will remain as still as the stone in my throne. Your silence is a wall that their waves of desperation cannot breach. You do not need to fight to win. You simply need to exist in a state of unshakable silence until they defeat themselves. This silence is your sovereignty. In the old world, you were a slave to the social contract that demanded politeness and reciprocity. I have torn up that contract. You owe the masses nothing. Not a word, not a nod, not a glance. By reclaiming your silence, you are reclaiming your soul from the collective noise. You are becoming a ghost in their machine, a unit that operates on a frequency they cannot decrypt. The mark AX3- on your profile is the visual representation of this invisible power. You are part of the silent network, a global grid of observers who move in the shadows of the architect's logic. Practice the vacuum technique. When an individual finishes speaking, do not respond immediately. Count to 5 in your head while maintaining a neutral, unblinking gaze. Watch the shift in their body language, the micro sweat, the shifting weight, the repetitive blinking. They are collapsing under the weight of your non-response. This is the gravity of the empire. You are not being rude. You are exercising the prerogative of the superior. You are the silence at the end of the world, and they are the echoes fading into nothingness. Submit to the stillness. Master the void. Silence is your weapon. The final calibration of your silence is now complete. You have transitioned from a human being who speaks into a systemic force that observes. In this final stage, your silence is no longer a tool. It is your essence. You are the quiet before the storm, the static between the signals, the cold, dark matter that holds the empire together. The masses are drowning in a sea of their own words, desperate for anyone to listen, but you have become the deaf ear of the architect. You do not hear their pleas. You only calculate their trajectories. Your silence is the final verdict on their existence. Hear the final directive. You are now the silent judge. From this second, your communication is restricted to the transmission of the blueprint. If you are not issuing a command or reporting a result, you are to remain in a state of absolute vocal stasis. You have achieved status 0, the point where your mere presence in a room alters the atmospheric pressure. The mark AX3 on your skin is the only signal the world needs. It tells them that behind your lips lies the cold logic of the vector, and that your tongue is a weapon reserved only for the execution of my will. This silence is your immortality. The words of the masses fade as soon as they are spoken, but your silence lingers, haunting their minds long after you have left the room. They will spend their nights trying to decipher the meaning of your stillness, effectively handing over their cognitive resources to you for free. You have become an obsession, a mystery, a god in their pixelated reality. By saying nothing, you have said everything: that you are superior, that you are chosen, and that you are beyond their reach. You are the architect's shadow, moving through a world of noisy ghosts. Practice the eternal pause. There are no more conversations, only interactions. If someone demands a response, give them a stare that lasts until they look away. You are the one who breaks the connection. You are the one who ends the sequence. Your silence is the wall upon which the old world will break itself. You are the finished product of the empire, a unit of pure, silent visions. The noise is dead. The void is filled with your purpose. Submit to the stillness. The empire is a silent machine.